We have a saying, Hishuk is Tsawak. Everything is connected. What happens at the top of the mountain has a direct impact on the estuary. When you have a healthy forest, healthy river, healthy water, you have healthy salmon, you have healthy people. Trees protect fish, but we've cut them down.
People are really lucky they don't understand what they're seeing when they come out in their boat, drive around and look at all the beautiful Nootka Sound, because it's really a patchwork of logging roads and new forest plantation with only scraps and fringes of old forest left. So what you're seeing is really a great big industrial woodlot. I'd say less than 10% of the original forest is left.
Once they took us off the waters, out of the woods, we lost the management of our resources. We need change, and we need solutions. We have to stop leaving scars behind. You know, that takes so long to heal.
For at least 14,000 years, these forests have been able to hold these rivers together. You can't build something like this. I don't care how much money you have. We're at Nuchatlaht Creek and Esperanza Inlet in the unceded territory of the Nuchatlaht First Nation at the Taihatwas Sockeye Stream. This is the last stream in their traditional territory that hasn't been completely logged. What you're seeing around you is really an old growth stream. It's surrounded by trees that have got to be hundreds, if not 1,000 years old in some cases. All this wood and stuff you see, you know, people think it's jamming up the channel. It's not. The little fish live under there and it provides cover for them. And you can see it's absolutely stable. There's vegetation growing on it for bugs to eat. There'll be a little baby coho underneath there and some of these tools hiding out.
It's such a special place. We started out with the belief that it's owned by our chief, and he's the only one that can harvest the sockeye from that creek. And the logging company was starting to log around Osta Lake, which we said, no, you can't do that. It's going to impact the creek. But they wouldn't listen again. You know, we had to threaten with court and then go to court.
The Taihatwas here at Nuchatlaht decided that he didn't want this to be logged anymore and that we should just say no and preserve this place because it's the last salmon stream in their territory that hasn't been completely logged. This is a stream that actually started the concept of salmon parks. It spread to the other tribes. At Nuchatlaht, the chiefs contemplated and they declared the parks. So in Nuchatlaht law, these are salmon parks, with the idea that if we protected about 20% of the landscape here, that would preserve 90% of the nation's salmon production. That way they can manage it the way they have managed it for thousands of years.
You know, Captain Cook landed on my beach right here where I'm sitting, and ever since then I got to prove that it belonged to us. He was a visitor here, we welcomed him here, and now we don't own anything. Everything was taken away. They tried to take our language and our culture away from us. There were thousands of us out here. Now you see one family, and we are forced to leave.
This is where everything is for Orchard people. Everything is here. A perfect way of a lifestyle of our people living here. Salmon is very important in our way of life. They count on the forest to survive in the river because of what's being done to our forest. Our people talk about coming home. They talk about wanting to come here every summer to camp out, just to be here, because it's their home.
I grew up in Nuchatlaht. That was my playground. That was my fishing ground, my hunting ground, my teachings. I never ever wanted to move away because that was everything to me. Now we look around us and there's nothing but logging going on. We've always been taught only take what you need in the ways of logging to keep our resources so we can have lots for our grandchildren, for our children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren. That was always our plan in our lives.
We were here for thousands and thousands of years, and the forests are proof of that. We did not clear-cut anything. We didn't kill a tree to take 2 planks out of a tree. We took the 2 planks and the tree survived. We took the bark and the tree grew bark again.
We're at Boston Point in Nootka Sound at Marvinus Bay in an area known to be the highest recorded density of culturally modified cedar trees on the northwest coast. And if you look around you, this is a CMT, there's a healed scar here. There's one behind you, there's one there, 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 there's one there. Everywhere you look around here, every single cedar tree has been bark stripped or modified to collect cedar bark to make clothing, and this is essentially the garment district of the Nuchatlaht First Nation. But what does it mean? Well, they managed this forest for thousands of years without killing it. And we don't do that. We just flatten it and move on.
We had data. We had people that were foresters. We had people that looked after the forest. It was always about management for tomorrow, not access for today.
We know how to look after our territory. Let us look after it. We can't bring it back to the way it was before, but we can start it, make positive changes so that, there'll always be something for us here in our territory.
With this concept of salmon parks, the idea is to take industrial extraction at a large scale out of the equation completely and allow these trees to heal these watersheds so that in a couple hundred years ago we'll have restored this mistake. And I know I'm never going to live to see the outcome of this, right? We're all doing this for somebody else's future. It's not about us.
What gives me hope mostly was what our ancestors left us with, the belief that we can do better. Nuchatlaht is not going to change the world, but what we do is change our little area, and people will see that and it'll grow. In 500 years from now, here's this strange little creek that's healthy and lots of salmon in it. We won't see the benefits, but we have to start down that road. Once we get people to understand how we're all connected to the forests, I think they'll start to understand that we need to do better, all of us.